Hi guys, how are you? Mine this one titanium. Let's do the weekly outlook. We had a bear flag in the dollar index that broke, and we're heading lower. We tested the previous low here, and we are looking for it to hit down here about 91.90, break, and then continue higher. So that's playing out as we expected from last week's video. Volatility index, spiked up, came down just above complacency land, which is normal. We talked about it that some volatility was coming back here. It came in. The line now is starting to expand. First it was like this. Now an increase to this. Now it's this. So let's see if this trend continues. Taking a look at the World Stock Index with the U.S. Continuing within the wedge. Ex-US looks a little bit more bullish. Making its way to the top of the channel. Okay, so might have a little bit more to go. Could hit as much as 54, 50 or something like that, and then we'll look for a reversal in that. REITs. Why do I follow REITs? They have a high dividend. 4% I think it is, and as we talked about, price stability is the name of the game. So if they're giving you 4% interest, I'm sorry, not interest, dividends, and interest rates are low, money's going to flow into this. I'm looking for upside at some point, but what I'm thinking is you get one down, and then this would be a nice area to buy to the long side. But for now, it's just kind of hanging at the bottom of the structure, back and forth, and let's see what it does. If it were to break this line, okay, then maybe we'll see more upside. Let's take a look at the S&P 500. It broke the trend line, bounced. We're in a flag now. This is interesting because it's kind of. Let me take it to a 1 hour. 4 hours, good. Okay, so this is interesting in the sense that it had a thrust up, and now it's creating this flag-looking formation, pennant, whatever you want to call it, wedge. And so this is the thrust up, and it's bouncing back and forth in here. If it were to break this double support area, then we would look for downside. Another way to look at it is it's a thrust up, corrective action, and then we push higher. So we'll keep an eye on this one, but it is consolidating at the bottom of the structure, unlike this V. Taking a look at the NASDAQ, it's at the top of the channel here, pretty much the way World Stock Index looks. If we take a little bit closer look, we had a tight formation going up. It broke, bounced, broke again. I'm looking for a 5% pullback in this. And that was my goal. We got to 3%. So right now it's in the middle of this big structure, which is a falling bull flag, if you will. So it's in the middle of nowhere, right? It's in the middle of everything. So it's kind of hard to trade this one on a longer term time frame. So we have to zoom in. Let's take it down to an hour. There we go. We had this little nubbed formation. We bounced, came back down, bounced again, broke the previous lows. Now we had a rising wedge that broke. So we could make an argument that it is making a bull flag of some sorts in a weird kind of way. Okay, quite big. But if this were to break to the upside, so let's say there's a 1, 2, 3, and then take off from here and come all the way to the top. Maybe this would be the break of the larger time frame flag, or we get one more down and then we bounce to the upside. Okay. For me, I would like for it to break here, continue on down, and then bounce to the upside. This would be a nice buy entry. It will break the previous low, hit the bottom of the channel. You can enter here, stop out here, and you can catch a very nice wave all the way to the top. But right now it's just bouncing back and forth in the middle. As I talked about in the last week's video, we had a mini flag right in here. Okay, we were looking for a break. It did break. It didn't quite break the previous lows, but it did test it, and now we've bounced. So let's see what comes out of this one. Okay, maybe it's a wedge pattern looking to break to the upside. But again, for this week, this is very hard to trade because it's in the middle of the entire big channel up here. So caution on this one. Taking a look at FANG, it's continuing the M pattern formation. We're getting closer and closer towards the bottom of it. Maybe a little bit left to the downside. You can see this is a big M. Will it turn around and start heading higher? I'm not sure. We'll see how it acts down here. But the bulk of the money to be made to the short side has been made. Okay. FANG again is Google, Facebook, Amazon, and Netflix. Taking a look at small caps, hit the bottom of the channel. It broke it. Now it has this counter trend move to the upside. We're looking for this to break. Let's take a little bit closer look. Let's go to an hour. Okay, here it is. So this is what we're looking at right here. If this were to break, I would see it come to the bottom and at least test this before bouncing, if not continuing lower. If this was to break, it's a risk off. That's the way I would read it, and this could push the other indices lower. But we'll keep an eye on it this week. Taking a closer look at the FANG. You know, we had this topping tail in here. It broke structure, came back down, then broke again. So this could be the top for a little bit, for a little while in Amazon, as I could easily see it breaking this and heading lower. You know, this one stock in of itself is not a big deal, but when you start looking at the other FANGs, you know, you start saying, okay, maybe this is going to lead to something more than just a 5% correction. You know, you look at Apple, it's up here and just kind of consolidating, not doing much, right? Maybe like a megaphone pattern of some sort. It has broken the long-term trend line. Okay, so doesn't look too bullish to me. Look at Facebook. This is a little bit more bullish looking. Okay, but it would have to break out probably this week. Okay, and at least test the previous high here. Take a look at Google. Okay, this I said you could buy if it started to hook up. I did purchase it in here. It is holding support down here, but the problem that I'm having with this is that it's building a structure at the bottom of the support area, so perhaps this will break. So there's some negativity if you look at the FANGs closer. Okay, and if the FANGs go, NDX goes lower as well. So we have a little bit of a mixed picture. Taking a look at Netflix, you know, broke out from this channel and then came back. It's a fade away. So right back testing the long-term support. Again, if this were to break, negative for the FANGs, negative for NDX. Taking a look at the German DAX, it has some difficulty getting through this channel, coming down. Okay, it's a counter trend move from the thrust up. So we need to see this one break out in order to take it long. Okay, if it does break to the downside, this would be incredibly bearish, and we could see it come all the way to the bottom and test this support area, which would not be such a bad thing because it would give us a nice entry to the long side if it were to do that. But for now, it's just kind of sitting here and consolidating back and forth. The trade setup for this week is if it breaks this support line, Perhaps you can take it to the bottom from one more down, okay, and then maybe bounce. Or if it were to break above, okay, this could lead to a nice wave up. Taking a look at the FTSE, it has broken the support line. It is creating a structure below the structure. I want to see it break this, and then we can possibly get a very big move all the way to the bottom. But right now it's just consolidating right down here, and let's see what it does. Very difficult to trade this one right now. It's just, if you would do anything, perhaps you can take it to the short side as close as possible to this trend line, to the top of this trend line, and then you can stop out if it were to break. Okay, above this high, you can stop out here and hope you get a nice move down. Otherwise, just hang back, see what it does, and go from there. Nikkei, this doesn't look like a top to me. Okay, it just consolidates, drops, short squeezes, consolidates, drops. Perhaps it hits the trend line this time, and we'll look for a pop from there. If it were to break this, then we'll have to take a closer look at it. But for now, again, nothing to trade here. Nifty 50 broken the ascending channel. It's creating a structure below the structure. Not looking very bullish. I would stay away from it. If it were to break this trend line here, okay, then you can take it to the short side. Okay, get a nice move down. Emerging markets. This is mostly China. It has broken above this long-term trend line from 2007, and it is pushing higher. The problem that I have with this is that when the dollar gets weak, emerging markets rise. Okay, so I'm skeptical about this breakout. But on a technical level, you can definitely buy it on some kind of pullback and see if it continues higher. But my feeling, my analysis would suggest that the dollar is going to go a little bit lower and then bounce, which would turn this one into a wave down back into the structure. So we'll take a look at it. We'll keep our eye on it. Again, hard to trade this one because you have this nice long trend line here. Okay, and if it breaks, we could see downside. Taking a look at oil, a little bit confusing on this one. The waves don't seem to want to match up with the structure. They're kind of all over the place and not quite touching. It kind of breaks out and then kind of falls back in but goes nowhere. This is a little confusing, and I went short up here, and then I started to consolidate down here, and I just said, you know what, let me just get out because I don't know what the hell it's doing. And I guess that's the best analysis I can give you right now. What do? It's just building pressure in here. It's building pressure down here. What I was thinking I was going to do is have at least one more down, test this low, this support area, and then bounce. That's what I was thinking. It doesn't seem to be following that script. Again, I don't know what it's doing. If it were to break here, okay, this would be a nice short right in here. Okay, short term, not long term. Now, if it continues on down, great. So you can take the small little trade, take half off, let the rest ride, set it to break even, and see if it goes. If it doesn't, comes back up, stops you out, you make a little bit of money, stay away. Maybe you can flip the trade. It depends on how it moves. Taking a look at natural gas, it has broken the long-term uptrend since March. It doesn't seem to know what to do either. It's kind of created this weird kind of structure. Maybe you can call this a head and shoulder. Okay, but the neckline is all the way down here. It is in this channel. It's counter trend, so you would think that it's going to go up. Maybe it will get one more down and then go up. Again, very confusing. Not much to trade here. Taking a look at copper, it's completing a 1, 2, 3 formation. It has broken to the upside of the ascending F flag, which is usually incredibly bullish. I went short here, here with small positions, of course, here, and I said, short every top here, looking for the wave down. Okay, it hasn't happened. Instead, it went to the upside, and when it does something like this is a conventional kind of stop, where it's just completely, broken out. So what do? Just keep increasing the top of the trend line? No, that doesn't work. This is a stop out, complete stop out. You'll see that it broke this support area or resistance area up here. It is continuing higher. I would not be surprised to see it hit the top of here. At the at the very least, giving you a nice little trade in here, and then maybe reversing from there. And then if it's going to break the longer term support area or resistance, I keep saying support, I don't know why, then it will be very interesting to see how it's going to develop. But for now, I'm neutral. I'm out. If it breaks, great. I'll buy it quickly. Set a stop below previous resistance area. Silver at the top of the wedge. I usually don't violate price action. I will in this case, since it's not playing a role. It is building a flag here, building some pressure. Maybe we can see this one break out. Okay, I don't have any positions on this one. Taking a look at aggregate bonds, you have a 1, a 2, a 3, and now it's pushing higher. So we could see a 4 and then a 5. Okay, so if it were to break above here, you can take it for a quick little trade. The way I trade, I like to enter trades down here. Okay, and ride waves up with an easier stop loss. Here, I personally, I would not touch this. Taking a look at Brazil, check it out, breaking out again. Weak dollar, good for emerging market stock markets. So breaking out just like the emerging markets ETF is. Taking a look at Russia, breaking out as well. Okay. India we talked about. China we didn't talk about. Broke out. Good to go. The Shanghai had some problems, while the large cap ETF has been really kicking ass. So I guess large caps are what matter, and I was wrongly looking at the Shanghai. So yeah, it's doing really good. It's breaking out. We might see all the way to the top here, all the way up here. Taking a look at shipping stocks, it's in this big wedge. Nothing to do here. We are long Diana Shipping and Tsakos Energy Navigation. If we look at the dry Baltic index, as you can see, it's to the upper part of this channel, if you will, going back to September of 2014. Okay, so it's doing okay. It's hanging in there, $1,200. That's not bad. So let's take a look at Diana Shipping. Had a nice bounce right off the support area here. This was dangerous because it is building pressure at the bottom of this large channel, and I was urging caution in here. Let's see how it reacts at the top of here. If it were to break out, then we could see another spike up. Okay, but right now it's acting very nicely. Tsakos Energy Navigation also turning to the upside. Let's see what this does. Okay. And another one of my long-term holdings is DDD. This is a falling F flag. I would think that this is going to break to the upside. If it does, I think it's a good trade. But for me, again, it's a long-term hold, so it doesn't. These little patterns don't mean anything to me. Pullbacks don't mean much to me. We did take some profit in here. We went long in here. Obviously, the day after, it crushed me. But again, if you're a long-term trader, you don't care about these things. You just wait till this, starts taking off. But again, you have the F flag down here. It's falling. Likelihood is it's going to reverse and go back up. And lastly, we'll take a look at IBB. Everybody was excited here. Obviously, it tanked, but it is holding this support area. If I can only draw right. So, maybe it comes back up again, and then it'll break here. Then you can take it all the way to the bottom. So that's it for now. I'll do another video for Forex, and we'll go more in depth into that. Thanks a lot. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.